Hello, friends. Welcome back to the ComfyUI official stream. I, once again, as always, am Pers, and I may be joined by Phil. I'm not sure. He sometimes shows up a little later than we start, but that's okay. How's everybody doing today? Lots of big things happening in the Comfy sphere. We launched Comfy Cloud. We announced our funding. What else happened? Oh boy, the challenge is on. We got to check out all the entries last night. They're absolutely incredible. We haven't cut the montage together yet, but we will, and that'll be available tomorrow on the blog. As always, everywhere you need to be, everything you need to know about Comfy is all at blog.comfy.org. Everything else is at comfy.org. We're on all the socials. Please join us and follow and do all the things. Welcome, friends. So big week for Comfy. We got a lot of stuff going. The private beta for the cloud has launched. So go to blog.comfy.org for more info on that and figure out how to sign up and log in, and just go to, I believe it's cloud.comfy.org, and you just log in, sign in, and you'll get on the wait list, and we'll get you in as soon as we can. I've played with it quite a bit. Super duper fun. It is amazing to get some of this stuff offloaded from our local machines to a cloud machine. I've been using Docker images on different instance providers, for the streams and things like that. And it's been less than optimal experience, which is one of those things I could go on about today. I only got the environment we are going to be working 7 seconds before the stream started. So, hey, here we are, which would have been, one click go on the Comfy Cloud. So, it's about empowering creatives. So hopefully we'll be able to do that for you. I see we have a special guest who's flying out of LAX today. Let me pull him on in. Hello, Julian.
Hello, just wanted to pop in and say hi from the airport,
Yeah, our friend Julian's leaving us for a couple weeks, but he'll be back. He's going to exhibit some of his work in a gallery in London like a boss.
Oh,
AI
come
work.
on.
AI work.
Yep.
You can do it. You can have your work exhibited in a physical gallery as a filthy, filthy AI artist. Julian is proof.
I'm proving it. Yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say I'm gonna miss you guys, and I will be back soon enough.
Safe travels, buddy. You have a good time.
Thank you guys. Take
Right
it
on.
easy.
You too. Right on. So a little pop in from Julian. That's Julian AI Art on all the socials. He's one of our co-hosts. He's here all the time. He'll be here as soon as his vacation is over. And we'll be partying once again. So how is everybody feeling about all this breadth of models we have available right now? I am personally a little overwhelmed. Been rocking Seed Dance lately. The API nodes been rocking Nano Banana. What else? VO3. I've been using that a lot. It's really really cool. But yeah, that's all closed source stuff. Today we are in open source mode. So Comfy is all things to all people, and a lot of the time, we're really only interested in the open source stuff. And today is that. I just got playing with Wan 2.2 VACE finally last night and the day before yesterday. And man, is it cool. I've been using Fun Control, which is also very, very good. But VACE is just a whole other animal. We're going to go into some stuff today, mostly to do with depth maps, but VACE is one of those multi-control models. So it'll work with like OpenPose and a bunch of other stuff. So we'll try that as well. We won't limit ourselves to depth. We'll see how it reacts to all the different things. But first, I'm going to actually like sort of open up the workflow and just slowly walk through it so you can try to understand all the components, because there's a lot of components to this workflow. I will also drop this workflow in the Discord at the end of the session. So make sure you're on the Comfy org Discord. The link is on comfy.org, O-R-G. Make sure you're on there, and I will drop the workflow. I got it from someone on Banadoko, and I will go find out their name before I drop it so that I can give them proper credit, because I have forgotten their username because I'm bad at remembering things. But Very cool workflow. Deviated slightly from the main workflow that comes with the Wan video wrapper custom node. That's another thing. Today we will not be in native land. We will be in the Wan video wrapper world, which a lot of you have been asking for. We spent a lot of time in the native like core nodes because they're easier to use. But Kajai, the person who makes the Wan video wrapper, is usually on the cutting edge, bleeding cutting edge of all the models and stuff that are coming out. So the very latest, the very greatest, the very coolest of the models and all that stuff is all available in Wan video wrapper first. So it's a great place to go once you've sort of got your feet wet in video generation, and then you really can get full total control with those nodes. So yeah, we'll have a look at those. There's a lot more nodes, a lot more stuff going on, but the community will provide what you need to get going. So go to Banodoko, Banodoco, banodoko.ai. Type that in, banodoko.ai. If you go to that website, there is a link on there for their Discord. On that Discord is a bunch of users just like me, just like you, diving into this AI stuff and sharing everything that they find, plumbing for treasures and sharing their treasures. So the workflow I got today was off of Banodoko, but I will drop it on our Discord as well. Basically, anytime you need to know about what's going on, go to Banodoko, because our community, the entire community that plays with Comfy, is pretty much all there, and they're all sharing all their knowledge and skills and findings and videos and workflows and assets, all that kind of stuff. It's just a beautiful, creative place. And also the comfy.org Discord, comfy.org. If you go there as well, there we go. Comfy.org. If you go to our Discord as well, a lot of very helpful people on there also dropping really cool workflow stuff. So please join the community and speak up, share your stuff, or just lurk. It's all good. You are more than welcome to just join and be weird. So yeah, that's pretty much all that stuff out of the way. Let's get into the meat, the potatoes, and maybe even some of the greens. Okay, jump on over to this bonkers workflow here. All right, I'm going to remove my logs. Just zoom out here so we can see the width of it. So this is a bigger workflow than we normally do. This would be a more intermediate or advanced stream. The basis of this workflow is actually very simple, and you can do something very similar to this by just using the fun control workflow that comes with Comfy. Does a lot of what we're doing here. What VACE gives us is just more, accurate control with the input footage that we're feeding it. So I'll explain all that once we get into the nodes a bit, but let's just see what it's doing here. This is our input image right here. Okay. This is our input video. And then boopity boop, 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 boop. We run it through and we get this, which is pretty cool. Input image, video. And the only other thing we need to do is, it looks like the latent is not being trimmed. I'm not sure why that's not happening. I'll get into all this in a minute. You'll notice there's a blip. There's a blip at the beginning of it. It's because you're supposed to trim out that first frame there. VACE likes to leave the first frame in there. There's a very easy way to deal with that, and we will dive into that. So, all right. Let's just have a look at this bonk diddly onkers workflow, shall we? We have our inputs. So I've moved a bit of it around, and I haven't color coded any of it. So this is just maybe not the best for showing you around, but let's clean it up and fix it up as we go. Width. This is height, and this is frame count. These are what we call constants, and these are integers. So I've declared these integers or these constants at the beginning of my workflow so that I can reference them later. We've talked about this a million times, but this is a very good way to deal with things when you want to be able to change a bunch of things in one place. So that's what we're doing here. We're determining the width and the height of our canvas, our entire generation, and the frame count, which is 81 frames, which is Wan's sort of a sweet spot. The reason I do this is because I'm going to be resizing these images. I'm going to be resizing the video that it makes. I'm going to be resizing masks. I'm going to be resizing everything to 640 by 640. But do I want to go in and type 640 by 640 in 8 different nodes? Absolutely not. So I'm going to plug the width and height everywhere I need it, and then I can only change it in one place. Same deal with frame count. Same deal with anything else that you want to keep constant. In this case, we're going to use an image input, a video input, and that's it. We're doing some really fun stuff here. So let's move our image and video inputs over here. Let's move these over here. We'll just kind of call this our little input section. I'm going to get rid of this old node because we're not using it anymore. So let's move this stuff over here and have a look. Okay, so yeah, sorry, friends. Let's clean this all up a bit. So we are resizing our input image. Well, in this case, our input video. We're going to crop it center, and we're going to set the width and height to this, and that way it's going to fix the aspect ratio to 1:1 or whatever we have in this width and height. Forgive me, I'm getting sick. I may cough a few times today. In this case, we are then grabbing a depth map from this video and then running that depth map into VACE. So to visualize that, I will drag a node out of this and add a video combine. If a lot of this is crazy and confusing to you, don't worry about it. This is a medium, intermediate to advanced workflow. So I'm kind of expecting you to already know some of this stuff. Don't worry if you don't know what I'm talking about. Today's not for you. That's all good. Intermediate workflows, day 2, day 3 things. This is just a slightly more advanced workflow. This shows you sort of more, like what's possible with Comfy beyond the sort of simple tech demos we always do. But if you need to go back, you need to learn. There's a bunch of streams we've done on simpler topics where you can just go in and learn from there. So don't get overwhelmed if everything I'm saying here is just silly and bonkers. This isn't an intermediate stream. All right. So I'm pulling a video combine out of this depth node because this depth node is going to determine the depth map, which is the distance of all the items on the video, how close they are to the camera. It's going to try and figure that out. And then it's going to give me that depth map. So to visualize the depth map, I'm going to add a video combine out of the depth map and just set it to not save the output so that it becomes a preview node. This is a good tip whenever you want to preview something, but you don't want to save a whole ton of the previews to your hard drive. So that's good there. What else are we doing? So then we're taking our input image, we're resizing it to the same size as we have up here. And then we're using this node called Florence 2. Florence 2 is a, what do you call it? Multimodal image looker adder clippy model-y thing, ding dong. That can't be the technical term. It's basically you feed it an image and it can do stuff. So in this case, it can look at the image and tell you what's in each part of the image with coordinates. You can caption the image, which is what I'm asking it to do. Then it can do a whole bunch of other crazy stuff like generate prompts using the prompt gen engine and all kinds of things. But the point is, I want it to look at an image and just give me a prompt for it. And that's what I'm doing with it. I'm asking it to look at this image and just give me the prompt so that I don't have to type it every time. I have to look at the image and try to be descriptive and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the Florence 2 node pack, ComfyUI-Florence 2. And that's also by Kajai, strangely enough. Excuse me. To use that, you plug the download and load Florence 2 model into the Florence 2 run node, and then you tell it which model you want to download. I like the Florence 2 large. I also like the Florence 2 large prompt gen and the Florence 2.2 large. Try them all. They're all awesome. They all do different things. FT means fine-tuned, so it might be slightly smaller or better. I can't remember. It's all good. This is the one I have downloaded. They're all basically, similar, but it just depends on what you need. Some of them are actually smarter than the other ones too. So, because you can ask it describe the image, or describe the clothing in the image, or describe the, just whatever you need the prompt out to be. You can specifically ask for it. So that's the really cool part about these nodes. But in this case, I'm just asking for a detailed caption, which is a task. So I don't even need a text input. And then the image goes into that. That comes out, the caption comes out into this string concatenate node. That's just because I want to add to the beginning of the prompt anime illustration of, so that it doesn't make me a realistic image. Wan is a model that can do a lot of things, and if you don't tell it exactly what you want, often it'll just do what it wants. So because my input image is anime, I didn't want it to make just like a human with a giant head, things like that. So I asked the prefix of this to be anime illustration of. This is also very handy when you're using Aloras and they have a trigger word. You can use the concatenator to fire off the trigger word before you get to your caption. All these things are designed to just help you not be able to change things in one place and then never look at it again. So what else are we doing here? Florence, we got Wan Video VAE loader. We use the Wan 2.1 VAE with the Wan 2.2 text to video note model. That's just a weird oddity. The only 2.2 VAE, the only time that's used is with the 5B model. So always use the 2.1 VAE with the 14B models. I should explain that very briefly. 14B versus 5B. That's a 14 billion parameter model versus a 5 billion parameter model. The 14 billion parameter model is larger. It takes up more VRAM, but it looks better. Some people say 5B can look just as good, so more power to them. I love it. I have not had that experience yet, but I am willing to learn. But yeah, if you have the VRAM, go for the 14B. It uses a lot, but there are other solutions as well. There are GGUF quantizations available that will bring that VRAM usage way down to something that you might have on your computer. So like you can get away with like an 8 gig card or a 12 gig card, or 16 gig card. You just have to go down to the quantization level that fits inside your VRAM. There are many a Reddit thread about this. In fact, actually, Cosmic, as you mentioned, the Florence nodes could be a nice subgraph. This entire workflow can be a subgraph, and we might actually do that when it's done, so that it's literally just image, video, I don't know, res, frame count, and then output on the other side. That might actually be a really fun thing to do with this workflow once we've described it all. So yeah, let's do that. Sorry, pardon me again. Okay, V1 video VAE encoder. So VACE. VACE is a control system. It's like a module that fits into Wan 2.2. It's a lot like ControlNet in that it has a strength and a start percent and an end percent. Start percent and end percent means it's 0 to 1, which is 0 to 100, or thinking about like the course of an entire animation or render rather. At what point does VACE try to take over and do its thing? And at what point does it let go? So because it's at 0 to 1, start and end, let me zoom in a bit more. Because it's at 0 to 1, start and end, it's going to start at the beginning and hold on the whole time and never let go at full strength. If I wanted it to dream wildly for the first 30% of the run, but then lock on and finish off strong, I would change the start percent to 0.3 or 30%. I'm going to leave all this at 0 and 1, but just to explain when you see start and end percent, that's what it means. Throughout the course of the run, it's going to try and latch on at whatever point you tell it to. So 0.4 to 0.6 would be like 40% of the run in, turn on VACE, and then 60% of the way through the run, turn it off and just dream wildly. So like that's basically how that works. Uno momento, we have an arrival. Hello, Phil. You are muted.
I am muted. What is going on?
What's going on, buddy? We're just VACing. Working through the VACE workflow.
Apologize.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, we are VACing. I'm just working through the workflow nice and slow. So let's get back over there.
Yeah, no, the 2.2 VACE is powerful. I'm stoked for
It's
this.
so cool. So yeah, that's I was just explaining strength and start 9% on the VACE module. But yeah, the VACE module takes a reference image, input images or frames. In our case, we're using that depth map from the video we were talking about. But it can also do masks. So you can say like, I only wanted to do the thing in like this little square on the screen, or I only want to do the thing on an animated mask, which is something I'm going to get into later. Maybe not today, but we'll do something about that because I have a lot of animated masks that would probably work very well with this. But yeah, so and then you can also smash these together. So you can have multiple VACE encoders all using multiple things. So you could say like from 20% to 30% use this one image, reference image, but then use a different one and then mix that in like 60 to 70% of the way through. I haven't tried this. It sounds like it'll just make nonsense, but I'm just saying the possibilities are literally endless with this stuff. And then yeah, we're just down here to the model loader section. So yeah. The Wan video wrapper loader nodes are a little more robust than the native ones. You notice they have about 7,000 inputs. That's because there's about 7,000 different kinds of Wan models. Today, we're actually using a VACE model, but we're not using the VACE input. We're using the extra model input. So this is why I'm going to drop the workflow at the end, because there's a lot to this stuff, and this is all stuff the community's figured out and dropped on us kindly. So yeah, again, don't get overwhelmed by all this stuff. I'm going to drop this workflow. You can just drag it in, whack-a-mole the custom nodes, grab the models and go. But yeah. So our VACE module goes into our extra model, and 14B is a high noise, low noise model, which means, oops, I'm trying to hide oh no, there we go. Sorry, friends, mini map was high. It was covering up what we were looking at. Okay. So, where was I? Yes, it is a high noise and a low noise model, which means it's two models. It is a motion pass and then a refiner pass. So it doesn't mean much to you other than the fact that you just have to know that there are two. It's going to go through two steps to render your video. And the high stuff has to match the high stuff, and the low stuff has to match the low stuff. So in this case, we're using the Wan 2.2 text to video high noise 14B model. That relates to the Wan 2.2 fun VACE module A14B high. Same deal, low to low, et cetera, et cetera. There's a good chance this is all going to be filled out on the workflow for you, so you don't have to worry about it. The only thing you have to pay attention to really is this UMT XXL FP16. For the Wan video wrapper, you will need the FP16 version. For the native nodes, you'll need the scaled one. So if you get an error, that's probably what it is. And these are both available in the manager. You just go to model manager and type UMT up here. And they're just both here. You can grab whichever one. So this FP8, the scaled one, that works with the native nodes, but this XXL FP18, it works with the Wan video wrapper. There might be a way to change that, but I couldn't get the scaled one to work with Wan video wrapper, so it's not a big deal. It's just an extra 8 gigabytes or something. What's 8 gigabytes? And then yeah, we're using the Wan video block swap node, which I might not need on this 5090. Actually, this is just from the default workflow. So Comfy Native kind of does this on its own. It's all automatic, but in the wrapper, you can actually control how many blocks you're swapping off to your system memory. The higher this number, the less VRAM your run will take, but the more time it will take because it has to swap the blocks off to the RAM, and it takes time to move stuff from VRAM to RAM, RAM to VRAM. Yeah. Yeah. So right now it looks like I'm swapping all the blocks, so we can check and see how much RAM this is using, and then adjust these blocks down probably before we hit the wall. Especially because we're doing 640 by 640 generations, we're not using that much VRAM. But if this was a VIG HD run, you might need that because, yeah, you just basically have to learn. You sort of have to learn to be a VRAM whisperer. So yeah, and that's basically all the loading stuff. We are using the Light X2 T2V14B rank 256 distilled LoRa. There's a rank 64 that everyone likes too. That's just a taste thing and a VRAM thing. This LoRa is like 3 gigs. The 64 rank one is like, I don't know, 800 megs or something. It just depends how much VRAM you want to tie up. But what these do is they distill the model down so that it renders in 4 to 8 steps, which is much better than 20 to 40. And yeah, our prompt, we're just feeding our prompt from Florence, that thing I showed you guys where you just feed the image in and ask it for a prompt and then add the prefix to it. So that's all we're doing here. If you're running out of VRAM, you can actually offload the device to your CPU and load the T5 on your CPU. This is only a last step measure thing for VRAM. It takes forever. It is possible to do though, if that's where you want to do the VRAM. Wist asked, does block swap lower quality? No, it just makes it take longer. If it has to swap the blocks. So it's just a trade-off. If you're getting out of memory errors, you increase the block swap size until it's feeding it into enough memory that you can get it in under the footprint. But if you're not running into the problem, you don't have to deal with it. It's only when you're going to go high res or high length, or one of the numbers is higher than the others. And yeah, we've talked about this a bunch of times, but it is a advanced sampler setup. So we feed it into the first sampler for 4 steps, and then we feed it into the second sampler for 4 steps. The person who made this workflow has made it very simple. They added a steps and a split step here. So you don't have to actually adjust any of this stuff. So steps 8, split step 4 is fine. And yeah, I would just leave everything alone. It works good as is.
Send it.
But yeah, check this out, Phil.
I love this style. The dress is so pretty.
So yeah, Randy says the Light X LoRa kills the motion quality. This is the case with text to video sometimes, but with VACE, man, we are sending it the motion. So, I agree with you, but for just the sheer amount of time and the fact that we're determining the motion, I don't think it matters that much. But if you want to spend the time to do 20, 30 steps with Tcache, please do. Stuff looks great. It's your time. But yeah, that's basically the whole kit and caboodle here. There's some stuff about Wan decoding, about how it uses tiles and stuff like that, but that's all getting into the weeds. You don't really need to know any of that crap. All you need to know is when you put information in the top here and you select all your models and then hit go, it should just work. And I believe I'll just melt all that into a subgraph just so it's easier to look at. So we want to expose this stuff. And we want to expose this. And I think the rest of this can actually just go straight into a subgraph. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually don't utilize them as much as I
well,
should.
this is just for the stream, really, like now you can see exactly what we're doing. I might not do this in my day-to-day life, but so we'll call this one VACE 2.2 image ref T2V. So this would be a sick little node to have in your repertoire, but yeah, this is actually the whole workflow. So let's, so you double click in here to get back into the workflow, and then we can clean this all up and expose all the elements that you would want to expose. In this case, we might actually want to move these video combines out as well. So if we take this, whoops, what have I done? All right, take this out to, My mouse is just angry at me today. There we go. Image out. And then we're going to take that image out as well. Doink. So these video combines, we can grab them and then paste them. Grab image one. I think it was this one. There we go. Now we have all of our outputs outside of the subgraph. So that what I just did there is called promoting widgets. And I just promoted the image widgets out by just dragging them into these little, there's like an input and an output section on each subgraph. So everything you want to promote or put out into the real world or the main subgraph, you just drag in there. So there's probably another value in here we're going to want to edit at some point. What's a good one? Shift, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Oh, steps and split step. That's a good one. So these two we can promote out. We just by dragging them out like this. And then if we go out, we can actually double click on it and rename them. So this is steps. This is split step.
You should expose the prompt as well, maybe.
Well, the prompt is being generated by, oh, you know what we should expose is the prefix to the prompt, which is an anime illustration of. Because the prompt is actually being done by Florence. So this will be prompt prefix. So now if we step out here, we're going to have our node's going to have all these things promoted out to the node. So this is our entire workflow in this one node now. So if we just change our input image, see if I can find something real quick. See if we can make him dance like a ballerina. I guess I'll clean up these and like release this as the workflow, and then you guys can go into the subgraphs and fix all the models and stuff. And then when you zoom out, you just you know. So if you go into the workflow, you can actually see everything that's happening. All the things are still happening. They're just happening under the hood. That's our depth map. If you were all curious what it looks like, this is what we're feeding into VACE. Is this VACE fun? Yes, this is the VACE fun, like smash together build thing. Laura, available on Kajai's amazing Laura folder on Hugging Face. So what it's doing is it's taking this depth map and using that other image that we sent it to put that thing or that person or whatever in as this depth map. There's a lot of stuff you can do with masking, auto masking, by RefNet, things like that. Pull the background out, put it on a different background, pull the person out just on like a blank background, you know, things like that. All possible with Comfy. So yeah, we're good there. Let's zoom out. And yeah, nothing to it. Easy peasy. You all passed VACE class. It's actually kind of cool. It's all boiled down to like the inputs in the node.
Yeah, one good trick is the image style that you're feeding in, the red node in this case. It helps if you try to match the composition of whatever you're trying to match to. So you know, obviously there's a full body, so a full body character in your reference image helps a lot. But I mean, it figures it out either way, clearly. So
No, I'm not sure when the native vase will be in, but if it's being worked on, it won't be long. Can't comment on what's being worked on. I have no idea. But also check the release log, check the PRs. Check. We build in the open, so if it's being worked on, you can see it.
Does your Wan wrapper do that thing where it loads the model
Yes,
patches
yes,
first and
yes.
then renders? Yeah, okay.
This.
I noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah, the native implementation of a lot of this stuff is actually faster. A lot faster.
Yeah, because I think that model patching is done up front. Actually, it happens
Mhm.
twice here.
But I was getting
Once.
slightly more interesting looking results from one video wrapper, so it might be worth the time, Yes, Vince says if you take the first frame, feed it into like Quen or whatever, you can get a better first frame. That's totally the case. And I will say, excuse me, works much better with fun control. Vase is actually quite good at just sort of doing the thing. It's not perfect. Sometimes the person will just come out of a giant head, like that's probably what's going to happen here. But you know what? I like weird AI. But if you're going for like the most amazing accurate thing, yeah, what you would do is you would take the first frame from this video, you'd feed it to Seedream, Nano Banana, Quen Image Edit, Flux Context, whatever you like, and say, take the character from this image and put them in this pose. You can even feed some of them like an actual open pose, like skeleton and stuff, and they get it. And it might take a couple runs, so it might not be something you want to front load into a workflow. It might be something you want to process and then do, because like those models are good, but sometimes they just make the character in whatever pose they like. It's hard to there's no like magic prompt to make it work, but it does work sometimes. Has anyone had trouble downloading custom nodes through the manager? No. I have not. But your internet connection and your connection to wherever the nodes are coming from, generally GitHub, matters a lot. So if your internet's been funky, it's a bad time to update custom nodes, because if one of those transfers fails, it tends to fail quite silently, and then you just have like a whole bunch of problems down the road. So if it's a bad internet day, leave it alone.
Good old hit download on Vase, and I'm gonna go watch a movie.
Happened to me before the stream. I had the wrong link in the wget for one of the models, and just grabbed like a 38 kilobyte file, sorry.html. So it happens to all of us. It happens to me, twice a week.
What happens to me twice a week is a new model comes out and I have to download it again.
Well, that's the other problem with Wan is a version comes out and then the entire ecosystem has to make like 45 models.
I know we're on a Wan kick right now, but man, I've been playing with that new Flux SRPO. It's pretty.
Yeah, we'll get into that
good.
as soon as it's in native.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a diffusion model, so it should
Cool.
be plug and play.
Maybe we'll do that on Friday.
But they fixed the textures, so hell yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was yeah,
it's like plastic skin,
Whoa.
I'm getting like Attack on Titan vibes almost.
But you see how the composition didn't matter at all. That's that's the power of Vase right there.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, to just use it as a reference like that. Even Fun Control likes to first frame that reference real hard. That's why we were saying, you try to match it, but with this, you can get away with it. Man, that looks good.
Yeah, I'm running in parallel behind you as
Oh,
well.
do you want to bring it up?
Let me
cool.
get a good one first, because this is, I'm dialing the settings.
I know what you mean.
I'm also doing some random in-painting stuff. Yeah, once I get a good output, I'd like to show how to in-paint with VACE, because mixing reality with image reference and the power of VACE is really fun.
Just looking for a picture here that isn't me. Oh, actually, I wonder if we can make, I'll use a picture that is me. I wonder if we can change the prompt here from anime illustration to yarn doll dancing. Curious if it could take this image we made with Dream and turn me into a little Gertie dancer.
Gertie dancer. I just got it. That was good. I liked that video you made.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Gertie Got It anywhere. GERDE, Gertie. Gertie Got It. Annoying guy again. Have you tried any of the new VACE 2.2 prompts? A list of the new features, a lot of new stuff over 2.1 VACE. Prompts? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe was it trained differently?
Yeah, maybe you can tell it to do stuff. I don't know. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, this is the fun part of the stream when it takes forever. It's par for the course though. The high quality stuff just takes longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm running at 768, and it's like, yeah, it's fast, but man, it's kind of hurting on the quality.
Yeah,
but it's fast.
Yeah, and I've been doing these at 640 by 640 just for the stream. But you can go actually quite higher. Yeah, I know.
Great.
That's really what is so cool about it. Like the really important thing is getting high quality at low res, and then the rest will come, right? Like having to render at 1280 by 720 just to get something good sucks. What is Kajai's VACE module compared to the standard VACE? I thought they were the same, but got errors when I tried VACE module. Probably just tuned for the models that are in Kajai's repo, right? Or Kajai's Hugging Face collection there. It's possible they're just using a different method than the ones that come with it. I'm not actually sure. I always just grab the models that the person was using in their workflow. But yeah, it plugs in, right? Like like Pookie said, they plug into extra model. Oh, I know what you mean. I think the VACE model input, the node, that's for VACE 2.1, for the old one. This is actually using the extra model input with the extra model loader. So I'm sure it has something to do with that. Because this Wan 2.2 fun VACE module thing, like I do not think it's like, no, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's like the big like official one. I think it's kind of like smashed together from a few other things like fun and like a fine tune of Wan and things like that. So I don't know. What is Florence? Florence, ComfyUI Florence 2. There it is. This is a node pack by Kajai. It is a Microsoft model, and it looks at the image and then gives you a prompt for that image. So yeah, that's why we're using it. So I don't have to type in the prompt every time. Lazy.
Efficient.
Right. Yes, efficiency, not laziness. God.
Ah,
You know what peak efficiency is? Destroying a steak and or a braised beef pie right before the stream over my sink because I don't have any utensils here right now. While my neighbor watches me through the window,
just eating
just eating a pie, like vertically with my hands because it wouldn't come out of the tin.
Oh my god.
That, my friends, is peak efficiency.
I thought a peak efficiency was taking your whole Comfy flow and making it one subgraph, just being image in, video out.
Like we just did.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Minus
So,
all the settings.
Make Believe asks, is it using ControlNet? So Vace is kind of like ControlNet. It's basically ControlNet. It's just different. But yeah, I mean, you can use ControlNet preprocessors with it. You can, for all intents and purposes, it essentially, you can think of it as ControlNet, but it is not exactly ControlNet. But it works very similarly. Oh, come on.
Wow, that works way too well.
Oh.
That's hilarious. You got to put an init video with you facing like the character doing something.
Dude, look at the material. Like, come on. This is so cool. Is there another way to eat a pie? I don't know. I think vertical is the way to go. You could go horizontal, I guess. Diagonal. Watching in horror. Yeah, she was watching in horror. All right. This is so cool. Wow. You can try a different init video. I think I have one here somewhere. Don't mind me, y'all. Just searching through files. Render time on that generation was 333 seconds. And it used 10 gigs of VRAM, which makes me think we can probably back off the blocks here. What do you think, Phil?
How much VRAM are we using?
10?
Oh, yeah, totally. Just half it.
20, right?
Yeah, or even 15.
15?
Yeah, I think 15.
Try that. It might go faster now. If it's even swapping them. I'm not sure if it even swaps them if it doesn't have to. I don't actually know how that works. Where did my dance videos go? Okay. I guess we should just use the video that everyone uses. Actually, I wonder what happens if we use a video with multiple people in it. Probably nothing good. Yeah, let's try this one. I think this will be wonderfully chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can't see it, but I'll download it right now. You're right now. Oh, my computer is mad at me, and I don't know why. Okay, there we go.
Salt is asking block swap. Can you give a brief explanation?
Go for it, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, the model needs to load onto the VRAM of the graphics card. And so if your graphics card is not large enough to hold the entirety of the model, block swapping is essentially like cutting up the entirety of the pie, putting half of it in, letting the pie bake, switching that piece out, putting another piece in, letting it bake. And it's just this constant block swapping process so that you still you still compute all of the pieces you need to, but in a very like cyclical fashion. So you're essentially trading speed for the ability to do it. And if you have a large enough VRAM graphics card, you don't have to block swap at all, and it does just make it like faster inherently.
I managed to chunk out Run Pod with that giant video. Interesting. There it goes. Okay, and we only want the first 81 frames.
Oh, this is going to be chaotic.
Yeah, I think so. Let's just keep it with yarn me. Let's see if it's faster this time. So that was 333 seconds with a block swap of 440. Let's see what it is with 15. Omar asks how to get the workflow. I will drop this workflow in the Comfy Discord after the stream. Again, this is a Frankenstein workflow from someone from Banadoko, and I can't remember their name, but I will find their name and add it to the link for the workflow. But it is essentially just the like the VACE example workflow, just modified. There was also a lot of extra stuff with like masking and layering, which I removed just because it overcomplicated it. But the original workflow did some really cool stuff too. So if you want to go deeper, there's always deeper. Let's see what the depth map looks like. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
This is going to make something just like completely useless. And for those of us not on Discord, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. That's just where it's going to be. You know, love or hate Discord, it is sort of where we congregate for this stuff just because it's actually kind of hard to share JSON files. They're considered viruses in most places because it's like, you know, like a somewhat executable string of text, right? You know, it's like, we have an official blog and stuff, but it's, you know, this is a community workflow. So I don't feel right, you know, just hijacking it and saying it's the official Comfy workflow for so-and-so. Just toys. Oh, that's the worst. I'll find a way to get it to you, Hodgman. I know you. I'll find you. DM me on Twitter. We'll find a way to get it to you, man. DM me on the tweeter. I don't know if it's any faster. Maybe it is. What's this say?
You don't feel a difference?
You don't feel it, man?
Do you
so
feel
actually we can check 159 and 156 for the first run. Second run is 126, 30 seconds faster on each half of the run. It's actually 1 minute faster.
That's a lot faster.
Not swap it out, so a lot faster. It's like 25% faster. We'll see how much VRAM it used either. It probably didn't even, because it's only 640 by 640. It probably doesn't use that much more VRAM. But yeah, I mean, this is actually a good opportunity to talk about the other way of doing this, which is getting rid of the distilled models, using the whole model, and then using what's known as Tcache or Easy Cache. There's a bunch of them now. They all do basically the same thing. You pick the threshold, and then you hit it, and it will check basically like before the step is done and look, you know, is this step too close to the other ones? Like, is there a diversity in this step that exceeds a certain threshold? And if not, I'm just going to skip the step. So that's basically like the concept there was just like, you know, do I actually need to do the step if it's 20% similar to all the other steps? No. Or rather the last step. No, probably not. We're probably not gaining anything from that step. Maybe a little refinement, but maybe not. So yeah, it's a good way to decrease the inference time. But there's a quality reduction, just like there is with the distilled models. So it's sort of pick your poison thing to get speed. If time is not an issue, you can turn it all off and just go the full 20, 30 frames, whatever. It's fine. Wow.
That's surprisingly
really good. Oh man. I love this model.
Wow.
So just if this doesn't make sense, if people don't understand, that's the input image, right? That's the reference image. And then the depth video was the input control footage. And as a result, we get this, which is way better than it should be. I got some sassy moves. But yeah, it just, kind of perfectly follows the depth map. And someone asked about, the depth map version I'm using here. Use the depth map you like. Depth video, there's depth, there's Lotus, there's the old ones, there's Zoe, there's depth anything, there's all of them. There's a million different depth things. What you want is the one that flickers the least frame to frame. So like the most depth information you can get with the least amount of temporal flickering, that will help everything. But there's also this like magic thing in VACE where it kind of doesn't care about flickering. So I don't know. There's a lot of like magic with VACE that just it takes what it wants and ignores what it doesn't need, and it does a very good job of it. And we only
video models just figure it out.
And we only did depth today. You can feed it open pose. You can feed it a video where you just have 5 dots moving in the motion that you want the thing to do, and it'll do the thing, like trajectories. VACE is incredibly like robust in that way. So if you're used to ControlNet and pre-processing or making splines to control motion and things like that, it's all possible with VACE. Just dive in and try it out. It's so cool. So cool. Slide over. See if anybody has any questions.
I just got the Rickroll video. That's going to be my init.
Nice. It also followed the input background. Yes, you can, if you mask the people out and just do them into like an abyss, like a black background, it'll actually just make stuff. It doesn't need to be, the background as well. Lotus. Yep. Lotus is a great depth preprocessor. Still can't wait for official VACE. Hopefully fun is a step before it comes. Yeah, it would be nice. I don't know if we're going to get one. We'll see. Where can I find the workflow? I will drop it on the Discord after the jam. But yeah, friends, that's just the beginning. We'll get back into VACE. We're going to do the Discord hang every other week. So not this week, but next week. Join us on Thursday in the Discord. This time, me and Phil and, I would say Julian, but he's actually jet setting. Yeah, what a life. But yeah, we'll be back Discording on Thursdays next week, and Tuesdays and Fridays. We do this stream. We just dive into the latest stuff and try and make it make sense for y'all. We appreciate everybody who comes out and hangs out with us. It means a lot. And tomorrow, pay attention and you'll see the challenge results. They are so good. You guys are nuts with the pose control. I was worried that this challenge might be a little difficult or like advanced and people might be bored and not want to do it or something, but nope.
Never is the case. There's way too many possibilities.
We'll just keep feeding you. We'll just keep feeding you stuff. We'll just keep feeding you stuff. So yeah, I'm no longer worried about difficulty. But I think we will alternate somewhat the difficulty of the challenges, so that the beginners don't feel left out. Because it sucks when every challenge is like make an entire anime video in 20 seconds. No, but we might do that. Might make you make a short film.
I'd like to see a
Me too.
30-second short.
Give them
Pretty
2 weeks to
doable.
do it, maybe.
Oh, I definitely need it.
Awesome.
You guys
Yeah,
work
it's true.
fast. I
It's
don't know how
true.
you turn it around.
It's true. Yeah, it's so good. So good. Is it possible to use first frame, last frame with VACE at the same time? I don't know. I think
so.
you'd have to try it. VACE has some really cool stuff too about like in painting. Like you can maybe do that first frame, last frame, like first frame and then a bunch of gray frames and then a last frame as your control video. You might get there. I don't know. That's the cool thing about VACE. It's a bit of a black box in that way. So just try it, because I have been blown away by the stuff it just knows how to do. Like, yeah. And it seems to be able to eat any kind of pre-processed footage too. So don't be shy. Oh, who was it? Yogo showed combining line art with normals. Combine your line art preprocessor with
Interesting.
what's that good normal one called? Normal Crafter plus like line art blended together is an incredible control footage. I need to dive into that myself, but the stuff he was showing me was bonkers. So yeah, that's what I mean about just trying stuff. Just try stuff. And if you find something cool, let us know, and we'll try it. Right on, friendos. We'll see you on Friday. Yeah.
Feels like
sign
Friday.
Up for the cloud. Get on the cloud. We'll get on the wait list and we'll get you in there as soon as we can. Yeah, crazy week. More to come. Comfy is just ramping up.
Yeah.
Right on, friends. Much love. Drive safe. Have a good weekend. Nope, none of that. It's not the weekend and you're not driving anywhere. Have a good week and walk safe.